Okay, so get this. Today's deep dive. It isn't a pile of research papers. No way. We are going on a trek today.
A trek.
A trek into, well, Gnomos.
Ah, yes.
It's a short story, in case you couldn't tell by the way I said it, by Edward H. Parks.
Yeah.
And this one, let's just say this one might have you sleeping with the lights on for a couple of nights.
It's true. It really gets under your skin. And you know what? It's more than just the plot, even though the plot itself, man.
It's a wild ride.
It really is. It's how Parks, he weaves in the folklore. He's got this setting that's just so vivid.
And a little dash of speculative biology to spice things up.
It's true. It's really something special.
Yeah. And speaking of special, this story, it kicks off with our main character, Rain. She's a geologist, and she is stranded.
Oh, no.
In Patagonia. And her vehicle, it's toast.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not good at all. And the culprit is, well, we don't know yet, do we?
That's the big question.
That's the question. Was it just a breakdown, or did something a little more, how do I say this, intentional happen out there in the middle of nowhere?
Right. Middle of nowhere. You're completely isolated. And isolation, it's almost like its own character in this story, wouldn't you say?
Oh, 100%.
And Parks, he really knows how to tap into that fear, that primal fear of the unknown. Right from the start, we've got Rain experiencing sleep paralysis.
Huh.
I mean, come on. It's like the story is priming us to feel uneasy, vulnerable.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of unease, the way Parks describes the Patagonian landscape,
Oh, man.
breathtaking, yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, yes. But stark,
Okay.
desolate. You can practically feel the isolation closing in with every sentence, like, I felt it.
Well, and that's not by accident. Patagonia, for those who haven't been lucky enough to see it, I mean, to talk about a region that's shrouded in mystery. I mean, this is the southernmost tip of South America. Andes Mountains, we've got windswept steppes.
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful, but it's intense. The conditions there are unforgiving.
Totally. And so you have the landscape itself that's on the mystery. It's adding to that sense of, like, creeping dread.
Right.
But then Parks, he's like, hold my beer, I'm not done yet. He throws in another layer of tension. Cultural clash.
Ah, right.
Rain's American. Right off the bat, there's this friction with the Argentinian characters, language barriers, different beliefs. You just get this sense that nobody trusts anybody.
And that distrust, that feeds right into, I think, the central question of Gnomos. Like, how much does our background, our cultural background, affect what we're willing to believe is possible, Rain, she's coming at this with her scientific mind. She is quick to dismiss the local folklore about these creatures called duendes.
Duendes, yeah.
These mischievous little spirits.
Yeah, they're not so nice, right?
Yeah, not so nice. But as things start to escalate, even her skepticism, even she can't deny that something's off.
Right. It starts with what seems like a prank. Harmless.
Yeah.
But then it escalates to full-on sabotage.
Oh, no.
And then there's this unsettling death.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're not laughing about those duendes anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute. Something's going on here. Something's going on. The story, it's like it slowly tightens its grip on you.
It does.
And it makes you question what's possible, what is really possible.
And that's the beauty of it, right? This isn't like some ancient folktale. Gnomos was published in 2015.
Recently.
So it's playing with our modern sensibilities, our skepticism.
Right.
Like, we're so quick to say, oh, supernatural, whatever. But then he grounds it in reality. You've got Patagonia. You've got these misunderstandings. You've got sleep paralysis. He takes all these real things and suddenly the fantastical, plausible, and unsettling.
Speaking of unsettling, can we talk about the gnomes for a minute?
Let's get into it.
Because Parks, what he does with these creatures, next level. These are not, I repeat, not those cute little garden gnomes.
No.
You know the one?
Oh, yeah. With the little fishing rods.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ones you see at the hardware store? No.
Parks takes that whole image and, flips it hard.
He does. He flips it on its head.
Yeah.
And you're left with these creatures. It's like they're almost primate-like.
Yes.
But they've got this intelligence.
Yeah.
And they're not just using tools. They're using them to, exploit us. It's scary.
It's creepy.
Oh, they're creepy.
And did we mention creepy? They're so creepy. The way they move, their language. Ugh. Even like their clothing.
Yeah.
It's like this feeling that something is just wrong about them. Like they shouldn't exist.
Right.
But there they are, staring you in the face. But that's where that blend of folklore and almost like speculative biology, that's where it's so effective. Because he's playing with that. Like he drops these hints about like their evolution. You start to think, maybe, just maybe, they're like a whole separate thing, like separate from us.
Like a whole like offshoot of primates.
Yeah. Like, he even mentions convergent evolution.
What was that?
So, okay, it's this idea that you can have two totally different species, right?
Okay.
But they evolve to have, like, the same features because, you know, it works.
Because it works.
Like bats and birds, totally different, but they both got wings.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Different journeys, same solution.
Whoa, okay. Mind blown.
Right.
Okay, so we're getting into, like, gnome evolution here, but can we talk about the action for a second?
Oh, yeah.
Because once these gnomes show up, things go downhill.
Fast. For everyone.
For Rain and her nut.
Especially her.
Especially her nut.
But that scene where Gustavo, you know the other mechanic?
Yeah.
He doesn't make it.
Doesn't make it.
That whole scene, masterclass in suspense, you feel that danger. It's coming. It's getting closer. And then those descriptions, brutal. But you learn a lot about the gnomes.
So much.
Like how they use those rocks.
Oh, my gosh.
Simple rocks.
It's scary.
But with the precision.
Yeah, it's calculated.
It's not random, you know.
No.
There's a purpose.
You know what got me?
What?
That little detail about Gustavo's rifle strap,
Oh, yeah.
it was cut.
Cut, not ripped.
It wasn't ripped off. It was cut.
Yeah.
Chills every time. I mean, that tells you something, right?
Intelligence.
They planned this.
They're thinking ahead.
They knew that if they, like, ripped it off, it would be this whole thing.
They're thinking about noise. They're thinking about, you know, bringing unwanted attention.
Unwanted attention.
They get it.
They know.
They understand us better than we understand them. I mean, come on. They steal a satellite phone.
A satellite phone.
Oh,
Which, okay. So now we're in the aftermath.
right.
And Parks, he just throws this huge ethical dilemma at us.
He does. He leaves us with a lot to unpack.
Because gnomes, okay, fine. They're like the thing of campfire stories, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when the stories are real? When somebody's like, no, this is real.
It makes you think. It makes you question, like, what responsibility do we even have to a whole species that we just discovered? That's intelligent, by the way.
That knows how to use a satellite phone? Probably better than I can.
Exactly.
They're smart. And they want to stay hidden.
They clearly want to be left alone.
They want to be left alone.
And they just prove they can defend themselves.
Yeah. And Rain, our geologist, she's stuck right in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah. What's she going to do?
Because she's got the proof.
Right, the tuft of hair.
The hair.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the hair. But she also saw what they can do.
She saw it firsthand.
And she's got to make a choice.
It's a tough one.
And it's not just about her anymore. It's about everyone.
It really makes you wonder, what would you do?
And that's where he leaves us hanging.
The worst part.
Rain has to make a choice.
I know.
And it could be huge. Not just for her, for everybody. Humanity.
And the gnomes. Don't forget the gnomes.
And the gnomes.
We can't forget about them.
Oh, man. Talk about an ending that just sticks with you.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? What would you do? It makes you think about that classic question.
Which one?
You know, like if a tree falls in the forest
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and no one's around, does it make a sound?
Right, right.
Did it really happen? In this case, did those gnomes really mess with that SUV?
Right.
Or did she imagine it?
Did she make it all up in her head?
Yeah, did she? And the way Parks ends it,
Right.
it's like, Rain, she decides to just let that tree keep falling. Let it fall in silence. She takes that gnome hair, that proof.
I know.
Poof. Gone.
She lets it blow away in the wind.
Such a powerful image, don't you think?
It is, because on the one hand, okay, she's protecting them.
Yeah.
She's protecting their whole way of life, their little gnome world.
Right.
But on the other hand, she's hiding something.
Yeah, it's like, what if that information's important? What if we need to know that?
What if it's like the key to something?
Exactly. There's no easy answers.
It makes you really think.
It does.
We've all seen enough sci-fi movies to know
right.
first contact
Never goes well.
never goes well. So is she doing the right thing? Is it better to just not know?
That's the question, isn't it? Who are we to say?
Yeah.
These creatures, they've been living, what, alongside us?
Maybe.
Secretly.
For who knows how long.
For who knows how long, yeah. And we just barge in, and Gnomos, it doesn't give us the answers, and I kind of like that about it.
It makes it stick with you.
It does.
It really does make you think, like, what if they are real? What if this is just, like, the tip of the iceberg?
Right. What if there's more?
Would it be good? Would it be bad? I don't know.
Would we even know it if we saw it? Intelligence?
Would we even recognize it?
Right. What does that even mean?
What does it mean?
Civilization. It makes you question everything, even like what it means to be human.
Oh, deep.
Right. And it just makes you realize we know nothing.
Nothing.
About this planet, our planet.
I mean, there could be gnomes in my backyard.
There could be.
And I wouldn't even know.
And they're listening right now, probably like, can you keep it down? We're trying to sleep.
Don't tell them about us. We're trying to stay hidden over here. Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is too much.
It changes how you see those little garden gnomes, doesn't it?
It really does. I don't know if I can ever look at them the same way again.
A little more ominous now.
Right. A little more creepy. Definitely makes you think twice about going in the woods at night, I'll tell you that much.
You got that right.
Maybe leave a little, I don't know, little gift for the gnomes, just in case.
Just a little peace offering.
Yeah. Can't hurt, right?
Can't hurt.
All right. Well, on that note, thanks everybody for joining us on this deep dive into Gnomos.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time, keep those flashlights handy.
Sleep tight.
And, maybe check under the bed for gnomes.